look at that man. My God, now it makes sense why he's shredded.
Two-time Mr. Universe. Oh, that's me.
Because those type of guys, they're built different.
Kevin Durant, you blow out your Achilles. When's the last time you did a calf raise? If you see him ball out this year, then it's on.
When the ball hits his hands, he does not drop passes ever.
And I think having more talent around him is going to benefit him a lot. Are we drinking too much of this Kool-Aid?
The Amon-Ra St.Brown feature last night, and it was cool, Juicy J, to see, you know, he has the chip on his shoulder and catches 202 balls every single day off the jugs machine and all that kind of stuff. But let me tell you what, my favorite character in this entire production made his debut yesterday. Amon-Ra St.Brown's dad, former two-time Mr. Universe.
Yeah.
And he let you know, too.
Champ.
He did. He let you know. And I think that was probably, I would probably agree with you. He's probably my favorite character of episode 2 of the whole series. Hopefully he's featured more. But how can you not? Like, seeing John Brown, you understand where Amon-Ra gets his work ethic from. The guy's Mr. Two-time Mr. Universe. And another thing, too, I can kind of relate to this in a way. My dad isn't a two-time Mr. Universe. But that gym rat, working out, like having that mindset. When I watch John Brown, I see so much of my own dad, because those type of guys, they're built different. When you go to the gym every day and you're trying to, it's work ethic, and that's something that's been instilled in Amon-Ra. He's been working out since he was in middle school. I can't even, in middle school, I think I was chilling. I was not working out, I'll tell you that much. And the fact that he has that chip on his shoulder, you mentioned it, catches 202 balls every single before and after practice. He has that mentality. He wants to outwork everybody, and I guess he gets it from his dad. So it was awesome to see John Brown, and just seeing it, man, it makes sense. That's where Amon-Ra gets that work ethic. It's where he gets a chip on his shoulder.
And for me, Jeff, you and I were talking. For me, if I were a two-time Mr. Universe and a three-time Mr. World,
oh yeah,
I would introduce myself as such to people. Like we were talking about, if you ordered coffee at Starbucks and like they say, what's your name? I would say, oh, two-time Mr. Universe. And then they would, two-time Mr. Universe? Oh, that's me. I am two-time Mr.
Crowded
Universe.
room.
Yeah, not John Brown. Two-time Mr. Universe. But he was bringing the smoke. I mean, he was like a bodybuilding Sam Flannel, where he's calling out everybody. He's asking Kevin Durant, you blow out your Achilles. When's the last time you did a calf raise? He chose violence, bro.
He made fun of people doing the tricep workouts. He's like, listen, if you do like this, you're a grandma. He's like, that's how grandmas do it. And you see Amon-Ra afterwards do it, and my God, now it makes sense why he's shredded. And that was the thing. He was catching the 202 balls after practice, and all his teammates were like, woo, look at that man. Built different. And again, that's where he gets his work ethic. So thank God for John Brown, by the way.
When I talk about Amon-Ra St.Brown, I have to give this disclaimer. Just remember, his entire rookie contract costs less than Kenny Golladay will make in September of this year. I just want to remind you guys that that's how winning is done in today's NFL. That's exactly how winning is done. And you remember people were upset when they let Kenny Golladay go. Not me, man. Not at 18 per. Everything changes. The money dictates everything. But anyway, we move on. What do you expect? Real talk. Like Amon-Ra St.Brown. I'll go around the room because I want to know and I value your guys' opinion. But you, CJ, what do you expect from Amon-Ra St.Brown? Because now, if you see him ball out this year, then it's on. Like it's on. Like I'm talking like borderline star, like top 15 wide receiver in the league. Like it is on if he balls out this year. Real talk, what do you expect?
I expect big things. I think last year, him playing well, and we talk about it, it was kind of the circumstances he was in. Obviously, the wide receiver room was worse, so he had a bigger role. This year, he's still going to have a big role. You're not going to see Jameson for probably halfway through the season. For me, he already has that rapport with Jared Goff. He trusts him. And for Jared, he's not a guy who's always going to air it out downfield. Amon-Ra is going to be there in the intermediate to short passing game, and that's his bread and butter. And I think Amon-Ra is going to benefit off of that in the play action. He's just reliable. The guy didn't have a drop last year. So this year, I think he's going to have a big year, but it's hard to measure yards because of G.J. Chark. You don't know what Josh Reynolds is going to do now with a full season. Quintez, you have a lot of guys you want to see more of. TJ is going to be playing hopefully the entire season. But Neal, he's going to have a big season. But last year, if I had to put a number on it, I think he'll pass 1,000. That's my opinion. I still think I think he's going to lead this team in receiving yards. I still do.
Doug Fungus says the Rams would disagree about your money theory. Doug, we've talked about this in the past, too. Remember, the Rams never have first-round picks, so they never pay fifth-year options.
That's true.
So they're saving $15-ish million every single year that they haven't had a first-round pick. And they're able to cherry pick at the end. So they turn that $15 million into 3 Von Millers or 3 Ndamukong Suhs or 3 veterans that are looking to make a move to go to a team. They get 3 of those dudes instead of the 5th-year option. So they master it better than anybody. Right. Because they don't, not only do they use their 4th-round picks like the Cooper Kupps and all that kind of stuff, they don't pay a 5th-year option to a 1st-round pick. They get both ends of the candle, man. Like they have it figured out to the T. That's why they don't have the money issues. Now they will in 3 years. You know, the Armageddon's hitting for them in 3 years, but it doesn't matter. They got the chip already. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. Sam Flannel, Amon-Ra St.Brown, real talk. This year, put it in stone.
I think he's going to lead the team in receptions and receiving yards, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like Jeff said, the rapport that he built with Jared Goff. Last season, the last 6 games, Amon-Ra St.Brown put up all-pro level numbers for just those 6 games, and that also coincided with Ben Johnson being the passing game coordinator, and Jared Goff taking off, and Amon-Ra St.Brown taking off were pretty much at the exact same time, and it correlated to winning. So coming into this year, I think that Amon-Ra St.Brown is going to be Jared Goff's favorite target, his safety blanket. He's going to run those like short, concise routes. He always gets open, and like I've said many times, and Spencer loves this, when he gets targeted, when the ball hits his hands, he does not drop passes ever, and the numbers, play that out.
Yeah, and that's how you get quarterbacks to trust you.
Set it in stone.
Yeah, I'm with Sam. I got him for 1,000 to 1,200 receiving yards this year. He's going to lead the team in receptions. I think he'll have the most consistent looks on this team. He's going to be seeing 8 to 10 balls every game.
So he's a star.
He's a star.
You guys are calling it now. He's a star because that's what you are.
Yeah.
If you have 1,200 yards in the NFL and you catch 100 passes, you're a star.
You're that dude.
Well, there's also a need with Jamison Williams probably not playing the first part of the season. That's one of the other reasons I didn't mention why I expect Amon-Ra St.Brown to lead the team in receptions and receiving yards. But yeah, Neal, if you put up those kind of numbers, which I expect him over 100 catches, at least 1,100 yards, those are star numbers. That would probably put him in the Pro Bowl next year.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Like Sam alluded to, he was the only receiver in the NFL last year that had more than 70 receptions on the season and a 0% drop rate. The guy had over 900 yards in a season where he didn't get used the first 5 games of the year. So I expect them to come out there. As what we talk about Jared Goff not liking to push the ball downfield, although I think he's going to do more of that this year, Amon-Ra will still be that safety valve. He'll still be that guy running those intermediate routes, getting those catches, and when the ball's in his hands, he makes plays with it. So,
and the flip side to that too is last year you could say, well, there was the lack of talent. No wonder he went off and played well. Well, if you take the first half of the season, he didn't play well. So he played extremely well in that second half, racked up 900 total yards. And I think having more talent around him is going to benefit him a lot because, number one, last year towards the back half of the season, every game they went into, the opposing defense knew, take out Amon-Ra St.Brown. Take him out.
Literally propelled me to a fantasy championship. Like Amon-Ra, I had him. I got him late in the season. I was a 6th round going into the playoffs, 6th seed going into the playoffs.
And you caught fire.
And he caught fire, and he propelled me to the championship. It was awesome.
Neal, I just want to say real quick. I know Fish gave me this Kool-Aid. Are we drinking too much of this Kool-Aid?
Well, we're gonna discuss that in the next segment. Kool-Aid Jammer right there, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't drank one of these in like 10 years.
They're so good.
Yeah, they are.
How many?
I didn't put down mine. I had 3 of them when we had them on the first show. I forget what day it was we had them on. I had 3 of them though.